We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. A last firm returns for you guys to smash that like button. And here we are with SENS Stock, Mullen Automotive Inc. having a very volatile day, pulling all the way down and erasing those losses, making almost a break-even day here, right? We need to talk about what's going on within this volatility, but it wasn't the only stock falling and trying to come back up. The overall market fell as well and popped back up, and our SPY bot at 11:15 a.m. sent us out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, call options went up 200% plus within hours, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to our SPY bot, our QQQ bot, newly released Tesla bot, Apple bot, and AMD bot, and we have many other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. So SENS stock here having a very volatile move to the downside, found support above 80 cents, broke back above the resistance of 83 cents that we've talked about in the last several videos and dates, and now we're back up here closer to 90 cents again. And we need to talk about what's going on in the charts. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And as you see here popping up on the screen, these are home runs that we managed to find last week. Not guaranteed to be this way every single day, but we strive for home run opportunities every single day. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive the edge and clarity over the charts with our 42 vision indicators, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord and getting connected to a community of investors all looking to learn and grow together to maximize within the volatility. And here are the stocks I mentioned this morning. Every single one of them jumped 3 to 5%, 5 to 10% plus, but one of them turned out to be a home run, and that was ARTL, and the stock was consolidating towards the bell, pulled downwards, but full strength here on 42 vision, and it jumped up to a highest point of 30% plus, guys. Consolidated again and went for another jump up to retest those highs, giving two opportunities of highest points since we mentioned it to the peaks of 30% plus. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with SENS stock fighting within the volatility, trying to bring itself back up after having a big drop in the first half of the day. Now we're going to pull up the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, QQQ bot, newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts. And in today's video, I'm also going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator that adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with SENS stock. It got a bear indicator in the first beginning part of the day. It lasted for the first half of the day until it found a bottom, brought itself back up, and on the 30-minute, within the same day, it got a bull indicator. Now, within that volatility here, on the 30-minute, the outflows are still dominating. And I stated that in yesterday's video, that things are going back up. And even though it continues, we need to see these inflows start to pick up to the upside. Even if it doesn't cross the midpoint, we want to see this shift from red to green and start coming closer to the midpoint like it did back here on August 1st. When it crossed it and things started to fly a lot higher. I mean, it nearly went from 70 cents all the way up to 95 cents, almost $1, nearly almost a 40 to 50% plus move. Now, we have not crossed the inflows since then, and the outflows are still outweighing here on the 30-minute chart, and we've been breaking that down. Now, when we zoom in here and you look at the 15-minute within the volatility, things have been holding up. And in yesterday's video, outflows have not crossed, but things were coming downwards towards the end of the day. And I stated I was going to watch if those outflows get crossed and pulled downwards. And that's what happened this morning. It found a bottom here, started to bring itself back up, and it did a complete transition on 42 vision, which is the rip area, bright green bars, all the way down to the dip area of white with red borders. Every single time we hit white with red borders, there tends to be a reversal. Some are stronger, some are weaker, and the bull and bear indicators are there as extra layers of confirmation. Now within this volatility, slightly after that bull indicator, inflows got crossed, and they've been holding up here on the 15 minutes. So these are the things I'm watching going into tomorrow. The first thing is this bull indicator to not get canceled on any pullback by another bear indicator, and that this bull indicator continues to hold true over the chart on the 15 minute, and the outflows here to not be retested or cross through the midpoint to the downside. If not, that the inflows continue to dominate and that they stay above, because this is the one thing holding up this chart from coming right back down, and the one thing that can try to bring it back up to retest those resistance levels that we need to look at in this video. This needs to pull further away from the midpoint and go higher like it did here yesterday, and things started to continue to pick up with momentum. This is going to be very important going into tomorrow. Now, if this continues to hold up on the 15 minute above the midpoint and inflows are dominating, well, on the 30 minute, I'm going to be watching for the possibility of this shifting from red back to green, signifying some possible inflows, even though it doesn't cross the midpoint, at least trying to see it pick up and get closer to the midpoint. That's going to be very important in that direction if that starts. That's the main thing I'm going to be watching here on the 30 minute. Now, if that does not happen on the 30 minute, I'm going to be watching for this bull indicator again, just like the 15 minute, to not be canceled by a bear indicator on any possible pullback, and that this bull indicator continues to dominate over the chart. Now we're going to come back and talk about supports and resistance here within the volatility, but the 4 hour is going to be important because we did a shift into bright green here with these bars yesterday and today in the pre-market. We shifted quickly to dark green with red borders, and now we need to see these come back up and turn into dark green with green borders and continue the shift. But we're still under a bull indicator here since 83 cents. Things came back towards those levels and bounced back up. So very important to keep that in mind, that the 4 hour in the bigger picture, we're still under a bull indicator within the volatility, even though the outflows continue to dominate on the 4 hour. Now, when we go to the 1 day, we are above the midpoint, but things are red and also very close to the midpoint, right? Not green. So inflows are dominating. This just shows us on the inflows versus outflows why the stock hasn't retested the lows of the 52-week lows of 50 cents or collapsed to $0 or zero in general, right? So something important to keep in mind why it's like that, but it's still red. We need to see this turn green. And the last time it did that was back in November when it doubled from almost $7 to $16, right? So here we are with our first time shifting from red bars to red with green borders to dark green, and quickly shifting right back to dark green to red with green borders. This is super important because if this momentum gets destroyed very quickly, we will not see dark green bars again. We're gonna reject the closer we get to $1, and that's what's happening right now every single time we come up here towards the 90-cent $1 range. It's going to be very important to watch on the 1 day if this could shift back up to dark green bars or have a continuation of red with green borders, but breaking through resistance in the process. And that's what I'm going to be watching on the 1 day. On the 4 hour, as I stated, a reversal back up of dark green with green borders, this bull indicator to hold up, and inflows to start picking up as well. And on the 30 minute, we need to talk about supports and resistance here. The support here is 82 cents. That's the low of the day. Super important level. And slightly above that is 83 cents. It found support, and that's when it started to take off. I think 83 cents is pivotal based off the history of the chart and how many times it rejected up here in that consolidation before the recent breakout. Super, super important. Now, here we are with the bull indicator, and to the upside, I'm going to be watching if we could break above 90 cents, but most importantly 93 cents is a key resistance level, and if that gets broken through, the next one will be 95 and then $1. Now that's what I'm watching here on the 30-minute. I definitely want to see these inflows eventually start to bring themselves up. Even if they do not cross on the 30-minute, start coming up closer to it, signifying a possible movement of strength. Now on the 15-minute, as we continue to retest resistance levels or supports, I'm going to be watching the inflow versus outflow. Right now we're above it. We're green and we're above the midpoint. Inflows are dominating. It's the one thing holding up this chart. And if it could continue to pull away from the midpoint and go higher, or is it going to retest it or cross through it, signifying a possibility of another bear indicator here within the volatility and pulling things down as outflows start to outweigh, and we may retest the lows here of 82 cents, 83 cents of support. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.